I was supposed to release a different video, but I can't stop thinking about this idea, and I'm gonna be selfish in this video and talk about myself. So, nobody wants to work a job they hate, but I'm sure you've opened up the calculator app and figured out how many more paychecks you'd need after expenses to leave your job for like a year and to just rent like an apartment or something. So where I live, the average rental price for apartments is like $2,000 a month, and that's with like utilities and whatever else included. So theoretically, if I were to save up $24,000, I could then pay for this apartment for a year and then starve. So we'll set aside like $6,000 for food, occasional entertainment, and as like kind of like an emergency fund. So $30,000 in 1 year. And this is 1 year where you don't owe your time to like a job and your expected payments are already supplemented for. This idea wouldn't just give you 40 hours a week back. It'd probably be a little bit more time because if you work like a traditional 9 to 5, then you've got traffic to deal with, plus like getting dressed in the morning and then getting undressed when you come back. And not to mention the decompression time you need from after getting off of work and then getting back home from a day at the office. In addition to this, you'll be less stressed throughout the year as you're not going to have to worry about job loss as your time already belongs to you. And during this time, I wouldn't recommend spending each day playing video games and eating shitty food, but pursue things that you haven't had time to pursue because of that full-time job and turn them into something profitable. So, you want to learn how to draw? So if you Google search, how long does it take to become good at drawing? You're going to get answers like, 2 to 3 years. 5 to 10 years. A half hour a day for 5 years. Wait, stop. That last one. It's actually on to something. To become good at drawing, this rule states it would take a person 5 years if they practiced for half an hour each day. So, by using the distributive property, one can conclude that to become good at art in 1 year, you would need to spend 2.5 hours a day practicing. Please tell me that the neurons are starting to fire. And furthermore, I doubt it would take 2.5 hours a day for a full year to become good at drawing. I mean, I'm no Michelangelo, but look at the glow up your boy has gone through over the course of 8 months. Man, I'm looking pretty good. But in all seriousness, I took an art course for like a month and these are my results. I took this before I started this channel, and although the quality, if you call it that, of this artwork is much more apparent than most of the other artwork that appears on this channel, you can still see like a clear progression of a guy who only knew how to draw stick figures to this and now to this. And the only time I dedicate to sketching is making these videos, which takes me about a week depending on what I think the video needs. And sometimes that includes just redrawing some stock photos for like certain poses. But if a guy who had like 45 more hours a week than me spent like 3 weeks at most just practicing drawing with like a burning desire to be better than me, easily he could do it. That guy could release artwork on like Twitter or Instagram or something, cultivate a following, and then release courses on how he draws the way that he does. And that might take a few months, but it's certainly a lot faster and sounds a lot more fun than trying to juggle like a full-time job and a part-time entrepreneurship. And yeah, it's definitely more risky, but if you're serious about entrepreneurship, you have to make the leap at some point. If you do think that you want to try this and you get all this money saved up and are still too afraid to leave the security of a weekly or bi-weekly paycheck, just go part-time. Cut down the amount of hours you are working and increase your skills in areas that actually interest you. And during this year, make something sustainable like a business that can earn you $30,000 a year. That way so you don't have to return to full-time work. And to give you numbers, $30,000 a year is $2,500 a month. If you gather an audience of 1,000 true fans and sell a product or like a course or whatever, each person would only have to pay like $2.50. But bruh, what if not everybody buys something? Hey, what about these nuts? I'm throwing out figures to give you ideas, and of course, not everyone in that group of 1,000 is going to buy your product. So let's say you only expect 10% of your audience, so like 100 people, to buy your product. Great. Create something that is worth $25 and sell it to each of them, and make sure it stems from the skills and interests you've been cultivating over this year where you've stepped away from full-time employment, or else you'll just end up back in the office again next year. Which honestly may end up happening, but just if that does happen, have the thought of, wow, this last year was a lot of fun. Let's try to do it again. Wow, that was a rant. I don't know what this video is anymore. I think I made like one coherent point and several uncoherent points, but thanks for being here, And don't forget, we're all gonna make it.